our head coach, Chuck Ristano.
From Max Bishop Stadium on the banks of College Creek, on the yard of the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, it's Navy baseball on Navy Athletics YouTube as the Navy midshipmen take on the Dartmouth College Big Green. As the midshipmen are coming off an unreal win in Game 1 of this doubleheader, Navy winning it, beating Dartmouth 8-7. The midshipmen down 7-0, scored 8 runs to win it in the 7th. 6 runs with 2 outs, 5 of 7 hits in the 7th inning, 4 walks. Ty DiPerno with the game-winning single, a 3-hit game. Patrick Walsh with the game-tying single. Wow, a win. 1 inning pitched in relief. John Carroll did what he had to do, comes in out of the bullpen, shuts down Dartmouth in the 7th, and then the bats come alive. Navy scores 8 runs in the 7th, down 7-0 to win it 8-7. Tough loss for the Dartmouth Big Green, especially for Nate Eisler, who went into the 7th, got an out in the 7th, allowed just 2 runs. They were both earned, but they didn't come off the throws that he made there once he left the game. 4 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. What a win for the midshipmen as they knock off Dartmouth in the opener in 7 innings, winning it, scoring all 8 of their runs, 8-7 in that 7th inning. So we are set to go now in Game 2 of this doubleheader. This one's scheduled for 9 innings, and the sun is out here down on Terwilliger Brothers Field for Game 4 series. 3 of 4 in this series. On the mound for the midshipmen will be Matt Archibald, the junior right-hander. His 4th start of the season. He's pitched well this year. Not a lot to show for it on the wins column. 0 for 3 with a 4.80 ERA, but he has pitched some great baseball, especially his last performance right here last Saturday. A career high 13 strikeouts against St. Bonaventure in another tough loss. He'll be on the mound for the midshipmen. So we are set to go. Glad to have you along. If you're just joining us for the second of our doubleheader, Navy and Dartmouth, it was gray skies and the high 40s to start this thing out. Is now sunny skies in the mid-50s, close to 60. And leading it off for Dartmouth is Nico Banez. Banez up against Matt Archibald, squares to bunt, pulls it back. We are underway. So Navy, just a game, as I said, a win for the ages, one that none of these players or their parents, family, friends, anyone part of it will ever forget. Down 7-0 coming into the bottom of the seventh inning, scoring those 8 runs. Just a great way to get rid of that bad taste of those first 6 innings of the ball game like they never happened before. Archibald, breaking ball, misses outside at 79 miles per hour. Matt Archibald, 0 for 3, 15 innings pitched so far this year. This is his 4th start of the season, a 4.80 ERA, but it was those 13 strikeouts that he had, a career high against the Bonnies of St. Bonaventure right here last Saturday in a tough loss, looking for his first win of the season, even in the count to the Dartmouth leadoff hitter. 2 balls, 2 strikes, just underway. Fly ball to left field. Mason Ceccarelli from right field to left field. In left field, makes the stand, puts it out defensively for the midshipmen. In the outfield, Mason Ceccarelli in left field, Jake Hooten in center field, Andrew Manning in right field for the nightcap. Behind the plate is Will Howard, Victor Izquierdo at first base, Noah Adidas at second base, Tyler Kripe at shortstop, Patrick Walsh at third. Henry Manning saw him down between games, disappointed, out with an injury after being injured in game 1 of this series last night, the 3-1 loss for Navy. So Tyler Kripe moving from second base to short in the game 1 win, and at second base like he was in game 1 and for most of the game yesterday. Noah Adidas, ground ball in the hole, grabbed by Tyler Kripe, stands up, throws across the diamond, not in time. It'll be an infield base hit to Alejandro Puig as the shortstop makes the throw down to first. Makes the run down the first after that throw on a nice backhander by Tyler Kripe. So 1 on with 1 out. Matt Archibald will work from the stretch. Again, the sun shining to start this second game of the doubleheader after the first game in clouds, really fittingly and poetically, until that 7th inning when the sun first started to come out. Will Howard with the start behind the plate, as he did in game 1 of this series. The freshman, 6'1", 198 pounds. Bayshore, Kansas. I think we might have a clock warning out here, waiting to see if maybe a communications issue. Yeah, there's a bit of a clock issue, so hopefully got that all worked out. 1-0 the count to Milo Suarez, first baseman. Suarez in the first game of the doubleheader, 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Right now he's ahead in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. A runner on at first base, Alejandro Puig, the shortstop, with an infield base hit to the Navy shortstop. Deep in the hole, Tyler Kripe gloved it, but just couldn't get it over to first in time. He takes off from first, no throw from second, because it's a walk. So down to first base, drawing the walk is Milo Suarez, sliding head first into second base, not knowing that it was a walk. It was Puig. So Puig at second, Suarez at first, 1 away. A.J. DeMastri, who had the 2-run homer in game 1 of this doubleheader. That put Dartmouth up 6-0. Dartmouth would score 1 more run, and then Navy coming back with the unbelievable comeback, winning it 8-7, down 7-0. Navy scoring 8 runs in the 7th to win it. The pitch from Matt Archibald, kept in front of the plate by Will Howard. Howard gets it back to Matt. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Just underway, game 2 of this doubleheader between the Patriot League Midshipmen and the Ivy League Big Green, Navy and Dartmouth. The pitch, the runner goes towards third, does not get a throw, so Puig dives headfirst with a stolen base at third. And so now Dartmouth has runners at the corners, first and third, with 1 out. Midshipmen looking to get a double play to get out of this one. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. DeMastri looks at that ball at 89 miles per hour, low and in. From Navy, junior right-hander, 6'4", 225-pound Matt Archibald. From nearby Churchville, Maryland, went to John Carroll High School locally. And the pitch catches the corner. Heading down early to first base was DeMastri. So the catcher in game 1, DHing here in game 2, steps back into the box. Full count, 1 away. Runners at the corners for Dartmouth. The pitch, swung on and missed. The throw down to second. They've got the runner at first in a rundown. The throw back to first, diving safely back into first base. So the throw went down by Will Howard, and now they're going to send the runner to second base. So interference, catcher interference. So to second base now is Milo Suarez. There are 2 out, 2 runners in scoring position. And Stephen DiCorrado is up. The midshipmen thought they might be able to get out of that one, but now with runners at second and third, 2 away, they do get the out, which was important. Archibald sets from the chest. Ground ball foul down the first base side. DiCorrado 0 for 3 in the opener as a DH. He's the left fielder here in game 2. Navy starter Matt Archibald. The pitch swung on and missed. 6'2", 210 pounds, Stephen DiCorrado. Play both infield and outfield, as I said, in left field for game 2, the designated hitter in game 1. Matt Archibald ahead in the count with 2 outs, 1 and 2. Bounced in front of Howard, kept it in front of him. Down towards third base, picks it up, flips it back to Matt Archibald. Is heading back to third base is Alejandro Puig. Puig stealing third to get down there, and then the catcher interference sent Milo Suarez to second base. DiCorrado evens the count at 2 and 2. Breaking ball strikes him out to end the inning. The midshipmen do a good job to get out of that one. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We go to the Navy half of the first. Here, Navy baseball returns in a moment. Midshipmen coming up here in the first after getting out of a bit of a bind with a couple of runners in scoring position and one out. No score as we move to the bottom of the first here in Game 2 of this doubleheader in Annapolis. Leading off for the Midshipmen will be second baseman Noah Adidas. Batting second, the center fielder Jake Hooten. Batting third, the first baseman Victor Izquierdo. Andrew Manning's in right field, batting fourth. Batting fifth, the designated hitter Ty DePerno. Third baseman Patrick Walsh is hitting sixth. Batting seventh, the catcher Will Howard. The eighth hitter is the left fielder Mason Ceccarilli. Batting ninth for the Midshipmen, the shortstop Tyler Kripe. On the mound for Dartmouth, the junior right-hander Marco Dumsky, 6'4", 225 pounds, from Lee's Summit, Missouri, and Rockhurst High School. His first start of the season, his third appearance, has no record, a 1.80 ERA, 5 innings pitched so far this season, has allowed 8 runs on 4 hits, has struck out 5 with 5 walks, has hit a batter, and batters are only hitting .211 so far this season, this young season, for the Dartmouth starter, Marco Dumsky, who wears the white 31 on the back of his green Dartmouth Big Green jersey. As the Big Green quickly have to put behind them what happened in Game 1. They went into the 7th inning of the first game of this doubleheader with a 7-0 lead. 7-0 with 1 out in the inning. And then Navy rallies for 8 runs to win it 8-7. A couple runners get on in the first for Dartmouth. They can't get them across the plate, so the Midshipmen come up. No Adidas, the leadoff hitter, hit 9th in the order in Game 1, hitting first here in Game 2, and playing second base. And he's ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Wind is picked up a little bit, blowing out to left field. At pitch high from Dumsky at 87 miles per hour. Jack Espiritu Niswanger, the catcher. Milo Suarez at first base. Sam Anderson at second. Alejandro Puig, the shortstop. Tair Rodriguez at third for Dartmouth. Piss catches the outside corner. Stefan De Corrado, the left fielder. Nico Banez playing center field for Dartmouth in Game 2. And the right fielder is Chris Miller. Dumsky from the stretch, 6'4", 225-pounder, delivers. Bouncing ball to third base. Rodriguez over to first. The stretch by Milo Suarez and comes off the bag. So Suarez came off the bag. The call from first base umpire Calvin Baker, and really hustling down the line, showing that he's a perfect player as a leadoff hitter, is Noah Adidas. So an infield base hit to get things going for the Navy sophomore. Home plate umpire Thurman Berry, first base umpire Calvin Baker made the call, and third base umpire Webb Turner are having a discussion right now over by first base, and they will continue to say it was a safe call. The first year here at Terwilliger Brothers Field that they have the 2 bases down at first base. The normal base, and then the base that's in foul territory to allow runners to run down on those close plays. So Noah Adidas leads off with a base hit. He's at first base. Jake Hooten batting second for the Midshipmen. His 5th start of the season and his 15th at bat. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Home half of the first inning, scoreless between Navy and Dartmouth. The pitch, swinging through the 85-mile-an-hour pitch that is low and away to Jake Hooten. Marco Dumsky's previous 2 appearances, 2 1/3 innings against Gardner Webb, and then last week in 2 2/3 against Grambling. Breaking ball, popped up behind the plate. Espiritu Niswanger tries to catch it but can't. Again, very difficult on these high pop-ups, especially back behind the plate. That ball started coming back towards the screen and then quickly turns as it gets up into the breeze that was blocked before it got up that high. And as it comes down, it gets away from the Dartmouth catcher. So new life at the plate for Jack Hooten. The whole Navy lineup Of course, a part of that 8-run 7th inning batting around. The right-hander for Dartmouth throws over to first base. Ball gets away. Noah Ditas remains there at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter on. Batting second in the order is Jake Hooten. Victor Izquierdo on deck. The junior kicks and delivers. Off goes the Navy runner. Ditas dives head first into second base, and he has a stolen base on the pitch into the turf to Hooten. Noah Ditas, 4 for 4 stealing bases so far this season. So he's in scoring position, manufacturing what he hopes, Navy hopes, is a run on the infield hit, and then the stolen base at second base. For Jake Hooten, the ball count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Second baseman Sammy Anderson shades a little bit over towards the bag. The right-hander's pitch, breaking ball low and away. So Jake Hooten has now worked the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. Bouncing ball to third. Rodriguez looks back the runner at second, throws over to first. Nice scoop by Milo Suarez and able to hold the bag this time, as Tyre Rodriguez on the play at third was also able to hold Noah Ditas at second base. 1 away. Runner in scoring position. Victor Izquierdo, who came out of the ball game for what was the eventual game tying run in the 7th, as he was at second base. Tyler Bouchard scored that run before Andrew Manning crossed the plate on the game-winning hit by Ty DePerno. Dumsky looks at Noah Ditas at second base. His pitch catches the outside corner. Knee high. Midshipmen looking for their first lead to get the game going, falling behind in the opener of this series yesterday, losing 3-1, gave up a couple runs in the first inning, and then falling behind 7-0 before they come from behind win in the first game of this doubleheader. Here's the pitch. Misses high. Andrew Manning's on deck. Noah Ditas reached first on a base hit, stole second base, remained there on the ground out by Jake Hooten. Marco Dumsky's breaking ball, line to second base. Ditas dives back into second as the throw from Anderson to a covering Alejandro Puig is not in time. Well hit by Victor Izquierdo, but right at him and 2 away with the runner at second base. Andrew Manning from Natick, Massachusetts, designated hitter in Game 1 for Navy. Right fielder, position he played much of last season. And Mason Ceccarelli moves from right field to left field. First pitch to Andrew Manning is a ball. The hero from Game 1, Ty DePerno, but really everyone in the Navy lineup a hero, doing perfectly what was asked of them in that 7th inning to come back from a 7-0 deficit with 8 runs to win it. A little high and tight to Andrew Manning. He's ahead in the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Leadoff infield hit for Noah Ditas at second base. Opening up quite a hole between third and short as he's being held by Alejandro Puig. First strike of the at-bat to Andrew Manning. 2 balls and 1 strike. Midshipman with Matt Archibald on the mound in the first inning. Got a little trouble. Runners at second and third with one away, but were able to get out of it unscathed. Marco Dumsky trying to do the same now for Dartmouth. His breaking ball is high, 78 miles per hour. 3-1 the count to Andrew Manning. Went to Boston College High School, 6 foot, 205-pound junior who had a breakout sophomore year last year for Navy. The pitch. Checks his swing, and he will go down to first base with the walk. Navy has 2 on with 2 out now with Ty DePerno. What a game for Ty in game 1, not only behind the plate, doing a nice job blocking a bunch of pitches that were down in the turf, but also he had 3 hits, including the game-winning single to complete Navy's 8-run 7th inning to win it, down 7-0 going in to that 7th inning. The pitch. DePerno looks at the pitch. Again, home plate umpire for game 2, Thurman Berry. Calvin Baker makes the move to first base here for game 2, and Webb Turner is at third. Just a few thin clouds above the ballpark right now. Game 1 that started out with fog early on when we all arrived at the ballpark and drove here today, and then cloudy, and then the clouds started to break, and fittingly, kind of poetically, they broke in that 7th inning where Navy scored those 8 runs to win it. The delivery for a strike to Ty DePerno. The big right-hander for Dartmouth. Breaking ball, ground ball, into the hole, off the glove of Quigg. Rounding third is Noah Detus. Detus dives head first and scores. And in a rundown now at first base and scoring another run of the midshipman. Andrew Manning scores from third. In the rundown, all the way over to third base now for the midshipman is Ty DePerno. Aggressive base running leads to 2 runs for the midshipmen here in the first inning. Not only with Noah Detus scoring hard on the single from second base, but then causing the rundown and then making for the bad throw home. And the midshipmen, for the first time in this series, have jumped out to a lead. Lead at 2-0 here in the first inning. So an error on that throw to home plate for the Nick. Second run of the inning for the midshipmen, and still have a runner at third with 2 outs. The pitch to Patrick Walsh for a ball. It was Patrick who tied the game with a single in the bottom of the 7th. Now has a runner 90 feet from home plate at third base. Swings through a 88-mile-per-hour knee-high fastball from Marco Dumsky. First start of the season for the 6'4" junior. His 3rd appearance of this season. That's a pop-up. High to shortstop on the outfield grass. Alejandro Puig lets Stefan DiCarado take it and makes the putout. But not before Navy scores 2 runs on 2 hits. 1 error, 1 left. We move to the second. Navy 2, Dartmouth nothing. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Navy leads at 2-0. We move to the second inning. Navy baseball returns here to Max Bishop Stadium tomorrow afternoon, closing out this 4-game series with Dartmouth at noon. It's Navy Pinstripe Button Giveaway Day, along with post-game player autographs, and as we do every Sunday, kids in attendance will be invited to run the bases following the game. Be sure to come out to the ballpark here tomorrow and enjoy this great weekend of Navy baseball. And if you're around town, come on out here this afternoon. Late this afternoon, it is sunny skies here in Annapolis. We are just underway. Top of the second inning, Navy with the 2-0 lead. And leading it off in the second, Tyre Rodriguez, the 5'8", 175-pound senior infielder from Corona, California. Matt Archibald, the junior right-hander for Navy, misses away. 2 balls, 1 strike. First start of the young season for Matt. Bounces it softly back to him. Leans down, gloves it, over to first. Not an easy play over there for Victor Izquierdo, looking right into the sun, but he's able to make the play and the put out. The leadoff hitter is out. Chris Miller, the right fielder here in Game 2, who played left field in Game 1. 0 for 3 in the opener. His first at bat for the Big Green. Last weekend, lost a couple close games to nationally ranked number 2 team in the nation, LSU. 5-0 and 3-0. Very impressive for the Ivy League against the Southeastern Conference. Squares to bunt. Fouled off the bat of Chris Miller. Miller, 6'3", 215 pounds from Dardanelle, Arkansas. Matt Archibald last year, 4-4, a 3.64 ERA, led Navy with 66 strikeouts, 5th best in the Patriot League, and what a performance it was for him last Saturday against St. Bonaventure, the Bonnies. 13 strikeouts, a career high for him. The most strikeouts in a ball game since Noah Song did it for the Midshipmen. How about Noah Song having a great camp for the Boston Red Sox? Since his Tommy John surgery, they've turned him into a reliever, and he's really pitched well in Fort Myers, and there's a strikeout for Archibald. Swinging goes down Chris Miller, and 2 are away here in the second inning. So, yeah, a real strong performance out of the bullpen already a couple times for Noah Song, and now Matt Archibald passed him by for 13 strikeouts in a ball game, most recently done bettering Noah Song. The pitch, in for it, strike. Jack Espiritu Niswanger, the catcher, 5'11", from Boulder, Colorado, the freshman. Right-handed hitter, in tight, misses him. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Navy with a 2-0 lead. Getting the ball game going at their first at-bats. Aggressive base running, leading to both runs. Swung on and missed. High outside fastball. Well outside the strike, sounded 89 miles per hour for Matt Archibald. After his high school career in Maryland at John Carroll High School in Bel Air, went on to a postgraduate season at Mercersburg Academy, one of the Naval Academy Foundation schools, before coming to Navy. Also ran track at Mercersburg. So the Naval Academy Foundation schools really doing a good job producing baseball players with Coach Ristano, as Archibald will give up his first walk of the ball game. Espiritu Niswanger down to first base. Sam Anderson seeing his first action of the day here in Game 2. The freshman from Toronto, Ontario, 6 foot, 190 pounds. 3 different players from Ontario for Dartmouth College, and their interim head coach in his first year as interim head coach, Blake McFadden. McFadden taking over coaching duties as longtime head coach Bob Whalen retired during the summer. down to second base with the stolen base. So a runner now in scoring position for Dartmouth with 2 away and 2 out count to Anderson. And this is where Matt Archibald is so good with his ability to strike out batters, can get them in situations like this. The right-hander's pitch, blocked in the turf by Will Howard. 6 foot, 198-pound freshman who had really an impressive fall for Coach Ristano and now has found his way into the starting lineup a couple times in the last couple days here against Dartmouth. The pitch, swung on and missed, and Matt Archibald ends the inning with a strikeout, his 4th of the ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left in scoring position to the bottom of the second. Navy out in front of Dartmouth 2-0 with Navy baseball returning in a moment. Bottom of the second inning, Navy out in front of Dartmouth 2-0. Navy men's lacrosse tickets are on sale now. Join us at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium all season long as the men's lacrosse team hosts 3 more exciting home games, including a huge matchup with in-state rival Loyola in the Patriot League. For tickets, call 1-800-US4-NAVY or visit NavySports.com. And just like Navy baseball, in Game 1 against Dartmouth, it was a come-from-behind win for Navy men's lacrosse against Bucknell, scoring 8 unanswered goals in the 3rd period, going on to rally to beat Bucknell 16-12 at one point. I looked at the scoreboard. They were trailing 7-4. So Joe Amplo's men's lacrosse team with a big win in the Patriot League at home over Bucknell to start this spring break 16-12. The women's lacrosse team, also winners today, on the road, the 5th-ranked Mids, knocking off USF in Tampa. There's a line drive. It looks like it's going to go into the gap for Will Howard, and does. The Navy catcher rounds first base all the way to the wall, and a stand-up leadoff double for Will Howard and the midshipman. He drilled that one, coming off his bat at 98 miles per hour, all the way to the wall, and the midshipmen, for the 2nd time in this ball game in as many innings, have the leadoff runner on. It was Noah Adidas who got on in the infield hit to lead off the ball game for the midshipmen, and now the leadoff hitter here in the 2nd inning, batting 7th in the order, Will Howard, leads off second base. Mason Ceccarelli, batting 8th in the Navy lineup in left field, squares the bunt, pushes the bunt foul. Navy in batting practice before the game. Each batter ends their at-bat with their bunts, both sacrifice and also as they work on base hit bunting. Bottom of the order now, Mason Ceccarelli, the sophomore, has started all 12 games this season for the midshipmen. The pitch. This is outside. Actually, for a strike. So Mason Ceccarelli behind in the count, 0-2, with a runner at second base, looking into the sunshine, starting to see some shadows. A nice sign out on the field for us, not for the players. Sometimes hard to hit with the ball coming out of those shadows. Swung on and missed. First base is open, so there'll have to be a throw down to first. And it does with the out. So 1 away, runner at second remains Will Howard. Batting 9th, Tyler Kripe. Kripe looking to get the signal from the bench before he steps in for his first look at Navy's opponent on the mound. Marco Dumsky, the Game 2 starter for the Big Green, with that big white D on his green baseball cap. Looks back to Will Howard at second. Will throw there. Howard easily back. Just basically a step and a dive as he leads off second after the leadoff double here in the second inning for Navy. Out in front of Dartmouth, 2-0. The look and the pitch. Knee high for a strike at 89 miles per hour for Dumsky. Only the second double he has allowed this season. For Will Howard at second base. Howard being held on by Alejandro Puig. Inside, misses. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Tyler Kripe, freshman Navy shortstop, in relief of Henry Mitchell, who was knocked out of the ball game with an injury yesterday. So I'm walking downstairs with his arm in a sling, but looked to be in a pretty good mood. Disappointed, of course, knocked out of the lineup, but looking to come back as quick as possible. So that moves Tyler Kripe from second base over to shortstop. And Noah Ditas, who scored one of the 2 Navy runs so far in this nightcap, is at second base. The pitch. Line drive down the right field side. It's a home run. Wow, a shot off the bat at 104 miles per hour and 342 feet for Tyler Kripe. A line drive home run, and it puts the midshipman up 4-0. Tyler Kripe's first career home run, and he is congratulated by the entire Navy dugout for the jumping, fist-pumping high five on a line drive just inside the foul pole. The 2-run home run for the midshipmen, who are out in front 4-0 now here in the bottom of the second inning after the leadoff double by Will Howard. So a pair of freshman plebes scoring for the midshipmen here in the second inning. And the midshipmen really building on that momentum that they had with that 8-run 7th inning to come back and win, trailing 7-0 going into the 8th. There's another shot into the power alley into left center field. That's going to go to the wall. Rounding second now. Let's see if Noah Ditas is going to go into third. And he does. A stand-up triple in what is now a 2-for-2 day for Noah Ditas. An infield base hit to lead off the ball game, and now a stand-up triple with 1 away. So Noah Ditas really taking advantage of the opportunity to get into the lineup with that injury to Henry Manning and Tyler Kripe, who just hit the 2-run home run, moving to shortstop. And now Noah Ditas talking to Coach Pav, his third base coach, Chris Bosco, former Dartmouth assistant, the first base coach. High from Marco Dumsky. So Navy, 4 runs already on 5 hits. No errors. Dartmouth looking for their first run. 1 hit and 1 error here in the second. There's a breaking ball for a strike. 78 miles per hour from Marco Dumsky. Navy's bats coming to alive. From the stretch, there's a breaking ball for a strike. Checking his swing, but it was a strike in the box. To Jake Hooten. Hooten grounded out to third in the first inning. Batting number 2, fouls it off the mound. Down the third base side where it'll be gloved in foul territory by Marco Dumsky, who was ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chuck Restano comes out of the Navy dugout to talk with the young Navy hitter. Coach Restano in his 3rd season, just the 6th coach in the last 85 years of Navy baseball. More than 2 decades a Division I coach, most of those as one of the most respected pitching coaches in college baseball, including almost 2 decades at that time as the pitching coach at Notre Dame before 1 year at Florida State and taking over here 3 years ago and building this team in his image. So back in now is Jake Hooten. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at third base, no Adidas. Navy out in front, 4-0. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out. So Hooten goes down swinging. And the runner at third, Adidas, with 2 away now. And Victor Izquierdo, who lined out to the second baseman in the first inning, steps in for his second at bat with the runner Noah Adidas at third and 2 away. Pitch is low and away. Navy with 2 runs in the first, so far 2 here in the second. After scoring 8 in the 7th to come from behind and win in the opener of this doubleheader. The pitch, low. Espirito Niswanger behind the plate here in game 2 of this doubleheader. A.J. DeMastri is the designated hitter who caught in game 1. The 2-0 delivery misses high. Fastest pitch we have seen so far this afternoon at 90 miles per hour from Marco Dumsky. Pretty good lead by Adidas at third, with third baseman Tair Rodriguez well back off the plate as he does so well. Victor Izquierdo earning the walk. What a great eye as he moves down to first base. Victor Izquierdo, 11 walks so far this season. Andrew Manning, who scored the game-winning run in game 1. Up now with runners at the corners for Navy with 2 down. Izquierdo being held at first base by Milo Suarez, the 2 first basemen next to one another. Suarez 5'10". Victor Izquierdo a little bit taller at 6'2" with a good lead. Izquierdo holds tight. The ball goes back to the screen, and Noah Adidas will score for the midshipmen as they take a 5-0 lead on the pitch that gets away from Jack Espirito Niswanger all the way to the screen, and the midshipmen score the run. Out in front 5-0 now, and Victor Izquierdo advances 1 station down to second base. But let's see what this discussion is here now. Home plate umpire Thurman Berry will head down to talk to Calvin Baker and Webb Turner. Noah Adidas was on third base, 2 outs. The ball went back to the screen. Adidas scored. 2-ball count to Andrew Manning. That's what we know now, and that's all we'll know until we maybe ask him after the game. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Andrew Manning. Navy has scored 3 here in the 5th, including a 2-run home run by Tyler Kripe. There's another shot. Andrew Manning might have a home run himself. Back towards the wall, off the wall. Andrew Manning scores Victor Izquierdo from second base with a stand-up double. Manning laces that ball off the warning track and bouncing high off the wall in right field. And that came off his bat at 92 miles per hour, 345 feet into the wind on a pitch that was well outside the strike zone in on him. So he really turned on that quickly. Scott Wyckoff, along with director Britton McMahon and Navy Assistant Sports Information Director for Baseball, Marshall Filipowicz, who pointed that out to me on where that pitch was to Andrew Manning. And now it's Ty DiPerno getting another break in the doubleheader from being behind the plate, the designated hitter. DiPerno in the first had a base hit, an RBI. They count to him even, 1 ball and 1 strike. With Patrick Walsh. He and Ty DiPerno were the ones who scored the tying run and the winning run in the opener. Ty watches another pitch miss outside. the sun out over the field. The stands here at Max Bishop Stadium looking out into Terwilliger Brothers Field in the shade. So a little cooler in the stands than out on the field for the players, but still a good crowd on hand. A lot of folks taking advantage of the concessions I see down in front of us, and a lot of folks out on the hill where you can sit in the sun. Down the left field line. Runner at second with 2 outs. The pitch in for a strike. The Navy designated hitter, Ty DePerno. Sophomore, Santa Clarita, California, West Ranch High School. What a freshman season he had last year. The pitch misses away. Ty, the 2025 Patriot League Rookie of the Year, who goes down to first base on the walk. This year, after that, a preseason first team All Patriot League pick. With runners at first and second for Navy, having already scored 4 runs here in the second inning. Dartmouth interim head coach Blake McFadden heads out to the mound. I mentioned earlier in the ball game that his pitching coach is Brad Hill, who he played for at Kansas State. Brad Hill, long-time Kansas State head coach, 15 years in fact, 463 wins for Brad Hill, a 2-time Big 12 Coach of the Year, who, because of the last-minute coaching change with Bob Whalen retiring over the summer in Hanover, Brad Hill coming to help out his former pitcher who pitched for him at Kansas State. Now Dartmouth interim head coach Blake McFadden. Overall, his 8th season at Dartmouth. Mentioned a little bit earlier in the broadcast that Navy first-year assistant coach, first base coach, down there in the box right now, Chris Bosco, did coach for a year at Dartmouth alongside Blake McFadden as an assistant coach. Patrick Walsh swings through that one, fouled back off the glove of catcher Jack Espirito Niswanger. Patrick Walsh, not hard to recognize at the plate as he holds his hands way up high, right around the ear of his helmet before he gets into his stride. The freshman third baseman, before he strides into that one, he watches it go in the dirt. Patrick Walsh, 6'1", 210 pounds, from Huntersville, North Carolina, Christ the King High School. He's got 2 runners on at first and second with 2 outs. Fouls that one, just missed it. Back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Navy with 2 runs really manufactured in the first. A 2-run home run and then 2 more here in the second. With runners at first and second. Good eye by Patrick Walsh. That one was low and inside from Marco Dumsky. Dumsky sets at his waist. Not holding on, Ty DePerno at first base. Swung on and missed. Patrick Walsh strikes out to end the inning, but not before Navy scores 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors, they leave 2. We move to the third. Navy 6, Dartmouth nothing. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Third inning in Annapolis. Navy 4, actually Navy 6 after 4 runs in the second, and Dartmouth nothing. The number 1 seeded Navy men's basketball team continues their run at a Patriot League championship at Alumni Hall tomorrow afternoon as they host Boston University in the semifinals at 1 o'clock. Don't miss out on the Patriot League tournament action here in Annapolis. Thursday night's crowd made a huge difference in Navy's come-from-behind quarterfinal win over Bucknell. So let's pack Alumni Hall again tomorrow for the semis at 1 o'clock. For tickets, call 1-800-US4-NAVY or visit NavySports.com. Come from behind has been the story in the last few days for Naval Academy sports. Not only a come-from-behind win for the Navy men's basketball team. First pitch, line drive, right to Noah Ditas at second base. 1 out for the midshipman here in the third. Also, it was a come-from-behind win earlier today for Navy men's lacrosse. And, of course, right here at Max Bishop Stadium, it was a come-from-behind win for the ages, for the midshipmen, winning 8-7, down 7-0, scoring 8 runs in the 7th to win it in this first game of the doubleheader. Here in Game 2, Navy manufacturing a pair of runs in the second inning and then swinging some big sticks, including a 2-run home run by Tyler Kripe in the second to take a 6-0 lead now into the third for Matt Archibald. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Navy junior right-hander. Is he's pitched really well this year, but just hasn't pitched in games where he's gotten a lot of runs for him. So he gets to work with 6 runs here, looking for his first win of the season in his 4th start. Fouled back to the screen by Alejandro Puig. Matt Archibald 0-3. Came into the ball game with a 4.80 ERA. And already in this one, 4 strikeouts. Swinging through that one is Puig. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. The shadows moving out onto the field. Bright sunshine. Late afternoon here in Annapolis. Still a lot of baseball to be played, as this is a scheduled 9-inning nightcap for the doubleheader. Kind of an over and under on how much sunlight will be out, if any, when this one's over, as Archibald delivers. Blocked by Will Howard back behind the plate. Howard with that leadoff double in the second inning. And then he scored on the Tyler Kripe 2-run shot down the right field line. Archibald at 89 miles per hour misses high. Third walk of the ball game for the Navy right-hander. Puig down to first base. Alejandro Puig reached first base, stole second, stole third in the first, and then was stranded there on a Matt Archibald strikeout. So with 1 away, runner at first. Puig with a good lead. Milo Suarez. He walked in the first and was also stranded in the first at second base on the inning strikeout by Matt Archibald. Foul ball directly back up over where we are in the Fitzgerald Clubhouse. Here looking down on Terwilliger Brothers Field in the shadows of Gate 8. Here outside the gates on the yard at the Naval Academy. Archibald breaking ball, low and away at 79 miles per hour. Suarez holds back, doesn't go for it. Good pitch for Archibald ahead in the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. The delivery blocked by Howard. Puig takes off. Howard rifles it down to second, gets off the glove, and will go into short center field. Hustling back on it is Tyler Kripe. That shows you what kind of arm that Will Howard has, because that ball got away from him, almost out away from where the dirt, lack thereof, the turf at home plate is colored, and he still threw it down to second with a chance of getting Puig. But Puig is down at second base now with the lead. Kind of dancing back and forth. There's a line drive, base hit into left field. That will score Puig. He rounds third. Into second base is Suarez, who puts on the brakes there. And a 1-run double for Milo Suarez, scoring Alejandro Puig, the first run of the ball game for Dartmouth. They trail Navy now 6-1 here in the top of the third inning. Really laced that down. Coming off his bat at 103 miles per hour, and it was an 88-mile-an-hour fastball that was up from Matt Archibald, not where he wanted it to be, and Milo Suarez made him pay. Suarez leads off second with one out. Blocked by Howard. Suarez stays put at second base. A.J. DeMastri, who struck out in the first inning, designated hitter in game 2 of this doubleheader for Dartmouth, with the open stance, left-handed hitting catcher in game 1, swung on and missed. 88 miles per hour, high and in. It's a nasty fastball from Matt Archibald. It takes a deep breath and toes the rubber again to see what he will bring to DeMastri. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at second for Dartmouth. Again, blocked by Will Howard. There's a big hole between third and second defensively for Navy, with Tyler Kripe shaded over towards second base, and way off the line is Patrick Walsh. Back on the outfield turf is Noah Ditas at second base. Breaking ball, swung through by DeMastri. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes for Navy. This is the 7th game of an 8-game homestand that wraps up against Dartmouth here at noon tomorrow. The pitch. Down low. Navy now 9-4 overall. 5-2 here at Max Bishop Stadium on the road midweek in Norfolk, and then next weekend, opening Patriot League weekend series at Lehigh. Archibald pitches. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. The runner will advance to third base, but 2 are away. 5th strikeout of the afternoon. The next strikeout for Matt Archibald. Stefan DiCorrado, left-handed hitter in left field for game 2 of this doubleheader. Looks at his first pitch. He swings through that. Breaking ball low, blocked by Will Howard with the runner at third base. And that ball will be thrown over to the Navy dugout, so no chance for a Chick-fil-A foul ball on that one. Kind of fun. You bring your kids to the ball game. Every foul ball that they run down can be returned for a Chick-fil-A sandwich. The pitch. Breaking ball for a strike. Matt Archibald ahead in the count, 0-2 with 2 outs. Leading strikeout man for the midshipman, looking to sit down this Dartmouth offense, having scored 1 run here in the third. And he does. Strikes him out to end the inning, just like he did in the second. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, a runner left at third. To the bottom of the third, Navy 6, Dartmouth 1. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Navy 6, Dartmouth 1, bottom of the third inning. Coming off a record-setting regular season, the top-seeded Navy women's basketball team opens Patriot League tournament play on Monday night at Alumni Hall on the Yard at 7 p.m. in the quarterfinals of the Patriot League tournament against the winner of today's BU American game. Tickets are just $10. Call 1-800-US4-NAVY or visit NavySports.com. Tim Taylor's mids. What a regular season they have had. They closed it out last week at home with an impressive win over Loyola, but they have been playing that way all season long. We knew that this would be a special season with that win over Florida from the SEC early on in November, and they go into the Patriot League tournament with that opener on Monday, the top seed, just like the men, the top seed, playing tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Today's Navy baseball game is brought to you by Hawkeye 360, by Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan, by the Maryland Energy Administration, by Tilly Distribution, and by Blackwall Hitch and the Lodge Annapolis. Will Howard leads it off. Aaron, the bottom of the third, last at bat, doubled and scored on the Tyler Kripe 2-run home run. Navy freshman catcher fouls one off to the right side. So in the Navy lineup, a freshman behind the plate, a freshman at shortstop, a freshman at third base, and a freshman in center field. Really impressive. The top flight players that Coach Chuck Ristano is bringing into the Navy program each year, getting better and better. As you see the sophomores ahead of them had such great seasons last year, including Ty DePerno, really building this program, as we've said, in his own image. The 4-year letter winner at Sacred Heart, 2-time captain, left-handed starter. Anytime Navy faces a left-hander, you'll see him in batting practice, and a strikeout for Will Howard. A little confused there. Walks back to the Navy class of 1971 dugout over on the third base side. And that'll bring up a pinch hitter. First time that we have seen John Loudon, the freshman, in the lineup for the midshipmen from Brookhaven, Georgia, and the Marist School, just outside of Atlanta. Loudon. Batting for Mason Ceccarelli, who struck out in the second inning. So Mason Ceccarelli, a good game in right field in game one. So far, so good in game two in left field. And now an opportunity to get John Loudon into the lineup. Loudon lines one for a base hit into left center field. So Loudon produces. And that's what he's been doing all season long for the midshipmen. Nice pinch hitter midweek, just like he did here. He went 0 for 1, 2 for 4 with a run and a stolen base in the series opener last week against St. Bonaventure. But what about that record-setting 4-hit, 5 RBI collegiate debut in the season opener at Queens in Charlotte for John Loudon, who finds himself at first base for the midshipmen now with one away. Tyler Kripe, hit and run to second base. Sam Anderson over to first, down to second. For the midshipman is John Loudon on the one-pitch ground ball out from Tyler Kripe, who last time knocked it out of the ballpark for a 2-run home run. Adidas trying to continue his red-hot play here in game 2 of this doubleheader. Led off the ball game with an infield hit and scored, and then had a triple and scored in the second. Marco Dumsky, breaking ball for a strike at 77 miles per hour, trying to send the midshipman back out to the field without scoring for the first time he's faced him, as Navy scored 2 in the first and 4 in the second inning. Navy's 6 runs on 7 hits, Dartmouth's 1 run on 2 hits against Matt Archibald. The pitch, breaking ball high. Espirito Niswanger has to stand up to catch that one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the order. Noah Didis with Jake Hooten on deck. Fouls that one down into the turf. Falls behind in the count, 1-2. 2 down. Runner in scoring position at second base for Navy. That's Ty DePerno, designated hitter here in game 2 after catching in game 1. There's a ground ball to short. Alejandro Puig over to first. Does he pull him off the bag? No, he doesn't. He's out. Thought he might have come off the bag, Milo Suarez, but a good stretch as he holds on. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left to the fourth. Navy out in front of Dartmouth, 6-1, with Navy baseball returning in a moment. Fourth inning. Navy with the lead in game 2 of the doubleheader here against Dartmouth. 6-1. You're listening to the Navy baseball from the Navy Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Navy Federal Credit Union proudly serves the armed forces, veterans, and their families. Our members are the mission, insured by NCUA. Tyre Rodriguez leads it off for the Big Green, who picked up their first run of the ball game in the third. As we move now to the fourth, as Matt Archibald returns to the mound for the midshipmen, already with 6 strikeouts, 63 pitches, 3 walks, and just that single run. The right-hander delivers. Shot foul down into the Navy bullpen, then rolls down into the corner. The shade now extending out over home plate, so the pitch will come through the sun and then into the shade. There's a bouncing ball. Tyler Kripe takes the bounce over to first, makes the put out. Nice job by fellow freshman Patrick Walsh, letting Kripe take that one, called off as the Navy third baseman gave way to Kripe on the big bouncing ball off the now 1-year-old field turf here at Terwilliger Brothers Field. That was brand new last season. It has been plowed a couple times this winter, so the midshipmen could get onto the field and play ball. The pitch off the glove of Will Howard. Navy already playing 7. This is their 8th home game. Dartmouth won't play a home game till the end of March against Columbia. This is game 10 of their 15-game season-opening road trip, as that ball gets away back to the screen off the shoulder of Will Howard. The weather just not conducive to February or even March baseball in Hanover, New Hampshire, where Dartmouth College is. More conducive to hockey. Of course, their hockey team, standout season in the ECAC. In the ECAC playoffs. Now, I believe they have a first-round bye as the single elimination games are being played this weekend. My alma mater, Union College, hosting Brown in Schenectady tonight. Breaking ball from Archibald. For a called third strike. 7th strikeout of the ball game for Matt Archibald. 2 outs quickly here in the 4th inning. And this is really the way we've seen Matt pitch all season long, despite the 0-3 record. And today is the day where he's gotten some help from the Navy offense. A 5-run lead at 6-1 here in the top of the 4th inning and 2 away. Jack Espirito Niswanger, 5'11", 195-pound freshman, catching in game 2 of this doubleheader from Boulder, Colorado. One of the Navy songs that play out in the stadium here from the pitch. Swung on a miss, high heat at 88 miles per hour. The Chain Smokers, mentioning Boulder, Colorado, their roommate in the lyrics. As the right-hander, Matt Archibald. Winds and fires. Knee high for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. I think I heard almost like a elevator version of that out a couple nights ago. Kind of a cover. Ground ball up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Oh, as Noah Adidas and Tyler Kripe bang into each other, both diving for the ball. They both bounce up quickly. Looks like they're okay. Wow, after seeing the injury yesterday to Henry Mitchell, you don't want to see that, but they both bounce up very quickly, and they're back to their positions. Well, down at first base, off the hit, is Espirito Niswanger. There's a breaking ball from Archibald, misses. The 9th batter, Sam Anderson, the second baseman, struck out in the 2nd inning. His second go-round with Matt Archibald. Archibald pitches, scoring to bunt with 2 outs. And taking for a ball is Anderson. Anderson came into the ballgame hitting .267. His 4th start of the season. The pitch fouls it off the glove of Will Howard. Matt Archibald, 6'4", 225 pounds, all-county and team MVP at John Carroll in Bel Air, Maryland, Hartford County, just off of 95. There's a ground ball to Tyler Kripe, flips to second. That'll do it for Dartmouth here in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left to the bottom of the 4th. Navy 6, Dartmouth 1. We'll have the bottom of the inning for you in a moment. Navy 6, Dartmouth 1, bottom of the 4th inning. Midshipmen coming up with the lead in this ball game. Navy's 5th-ranked women's lacrosse team returns to the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium Tuesday, coming up March 10th, as they take on Jacksonville at 2 p.m. It'll be $2 Tuesday. Fans will be able to enjoy $2 popcorn from the concession stand. All Navy women's lacrosse games are free to attend. Hope to see you there. And a big win for Coach Timschel's Mids this afternoon in Tampa against South Florida. Navy 19-8 over South Florida, as Navy ranked 5th in the nation in women's lacrosse with the big win remaining undefeated. Jake Hooten will lead it off for the midshipmen here in the home half of the 4th inning. Hooten looks at the ball knee high for a strike after Navy was able to rally with 8 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to beat Dartmouth, down 7-0 going into the inning. Ball fouled off to the right side by Hooten. And real drama because it was Nate Eisler, who was just pitching lights-out baseball for Dartmouth. He even went into the 7th, got an out, left the ball game, and then Navy came to life. It was a called 3rd strike. Down on strikes to lead off the inning, the freshman Jake Hooten. Brings up Victor Izquierdo. Victor is 0 for 1. Reached on a walk and scored in the second inning. Lined out to second base in the first. The right-hander delivers. Izquierdo flies it to right field up into the sun. Second baseman, first baseman, and right fielder go out for it. It drops in. Izquierdo never stopped running. He's around second base. He's going to go for third. Izquierdo dives head first into third base. The Dartmouth second baseman, Sam Anderson, first baseman, Milo Suarez, and right fielder Chris Miller all in short right field circling for that ball. It dropped in, and Victor just kept on running, ends up at third base with one out, diving head first into the bag. So he is 90 feet away from home plate after that high pop-up, drops in right field, and now moving in is the Dartmouth infield. They're in on the infield turf. The pitch, swung on and missed by Andrew Manning. Manning, 1 for 1, walked in the first, and then doubled with an RBI in the second. Manning. Looks at a 78-mile-per-hour fastball, well outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Again, aggressive base running puts the midshipman in great position to score a run here with Victor Izquierdo now at third base. The pitch, low. 2 balls, 1 strike to Andrew Manning. Manning, the designated hitter in game 1, right fielder here in game 2. The pitcher, Marco Dumsky for Dartmouth. Delivers at 79 miles per hour. Misses. So now Manning ahead in the count. 3 balls and a strike. 1 away. A runner at third base. Victor Izquierdo, as his high fly ball to right field dropped in, and he just kept on motoring all the way around to third base. There's a bouncing ball to second base, gloved by Sam Anderson. Flips it over to first, kind of hopped a couple times off his knees, couldn't get his balance, but because he was drawn in, was able just to flip it over to first base and gets the out. So at 2 away, it allows his teammates in the infield to move back to their normal positions with Victor Izquierdo at third base and Ty DiPerno into the batter's box for Navy. 1 for 1 and a base hit in the first and a walk in the second. His third go-round against Marco Dumsky. Works from the stretch, sets at the belt, and the pitch, a breaking ball outside. Dumsky, 6'5", 225-pound junior from Lee's Summit, Missouri, Rockhurst High School. His coach is from Kansas. There's a fly ball to left field, way back to the warning track. It is off the wall. That'll score Izquierdo from third, and Ty DiPerno continues to swing the big stick, and he has a double to bring home the run and give Navy the 7-1 lead. The only question was whether that one was going to go out. It bounces off the wall. Stand-up double. Run-scoring double for Ty DiPerno. Patrick Walsh steps in now, trying to continue this 2-out rally for the Mids, who've already scored 1 run with 2 outs on that RBI double by Ty DiPerno with Victor Izquierdo at third base. Dumsky, high and tight at 88 miles per hour. 1 ball count to Patrick Walsh. Walsh 0 for 2. Most recently struck out against Dumsky in the second inning, who looks back at second to DiPerno. The pitch, breaking ball for a strike. The wind is blowing directly out towards left center field now. The huge Navy flag just off to the left of the pines that are the batter's background in center field. The pitch, just below the knees for a ball to Patrick Walsh. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Navy with a run here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 7-1 the lead now. Ty DiPerno scoring the run off his double at second base. There's a ground ball to second baseman on the outfield turf. Samuel Anderson throws over to first and ends the inning. For the midshipmen, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. To the 5th, Navy 7, Dartmouth 1. We'll have it for you in a moment. It's the nightcap of the doubleheader here at Max Bishop Stadium this afternoon into the early evening. Midshipmen taking game 1 in 7 innings, come from behind fashion all 8 of their runs in the 7th, winning it 8-7. Here with a 7-1 lead over Dartmouth College in town for the weekend from Hanover, New Hampshire. Navy with 2 runs in the first, 4 in the second, and then 1 just a few moments ago in the 4th inning. Today's Navy baseball game is brought to you by Hawkeye 360, by Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan, by the Maryland Energy Administration, by Tilly Distribution, and by Blackwall Hitch and the Lodge Annapolis. Nico Banez leads off the inning for Dartmouth. They picked up their only run of the ball game last inning in the 4th. Actually, 2 innings ago in the 3rd. 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. Navy scoring on the error. Some aggressive base running in the 1st inning. Ground ball deep in the hole at second base, outside the reach of a diving Noah Ditas. And it's a leadoff hit to start the inning for Dartmouth. That 8th run, 7th inning come from behind for the midshipmen. Most runs in an inning by the mids since an 11-run 8th inning of 2025 Patriot League semifinals. Back to game 1 against Army right here. So the midshipmen, the pitch goes back over to first. Wow. So a big 8-run 7th inning, the most in an inning by the mids since that 11-run 8th inning last year in the Patriot League semifinals in Game 1 against Army. It's the note of the day for Marshall Filipowicz. Well done. Well done. Matt Archibald, who has pitched well here, throws that one in the turf. Alejandro Puig, the hitter, as Nico Banez led off the inning with a base hit. In the hole, just outside the reach of a diving Noah Ditas. Archibald sets from the chest and hits an 87-mile-an-hour strike right at the knees. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Top of the 5th inning in Annapolis. We'll do it again tomorrow, 12 noon. Make sure you spring forward. Ground ball, gloved by Walsh. Over to second, Adidas 1, back to first. Double play! 5-4-3. And Navy defensively shining now after putting 7 runs on the board, throwing around some Under Armour leather in the field. And just like that, 2 are out. Matt Archibald on the mound for the midshipmen has thrown 81 pitches, 7 strikeouts. And there's a strike to Milo Suarez, the senior Dartmouth first baseman. Suarez Looks at a breaking ball strike. He's behind in the count now. 0-2 to Matt Archibald on a couple different occasions this afternoon. Matt Archibald closing out the inning with a strikeout, trying to do it now again. There's a fly ball to left field on his horse. Back towards the warning pack to make the catch is Mason Ceccarelli. Actually, John Loudon in for Mason. So John Loudon gets a pinch hit and then makes a play in the field, and the midshipmen come back to the plate. We move to the bottom of the fifth inning. Navy 7, Dartmouth 1. You're watching Navy Baseball on Navy Athletics YouTube.
Now pitching for Dartmouth, number 28, Andrew Lombana.
Home half of the fifth inning. Navy leads at 7-1, and a pitching change for Dartmouth. Andrew Lombana is come on now in relief of Mario Dumsky. 6'2", 200-pound sophomore left-hander from Juan Diego Catholic High School. Grew up in South Jordan, Utah. Played 9 games last season, making 6 starts, mostly in non-conference games out of the Ivy League. As Lombana, second appearance of the young season, has allowed 1 run on 1 hit and also walked 1. So Will Howard will get the first look for the midshipman against the new pitcher. Lombana, left-hander. So the first left-hander that Navy will be seeing from Dartmouth College. Sets at the buckle and pitches for a strike to Will Howard. Howard, 1 for 2, a double, and scored in the second and struck out in the third. First batter to face the Dartmouth reliever. Lombana plans to major in economics at Dartmouth College. The left-hander delivers. Swung on and missed. A 4-year letter winner at Juan Diego Catholic High School. Also named a playoff MVP and a 4-year member of the honor roll there. Member of the Student Government National Honor Society. Now a sophomore left-hander out of the bullpen for Dartmouth. Pitch is low in the turf. To Will Howard. Navy freshman catcher. Getting his second start of this series against Dartmouth. Second game of the doubleheader. Fouls it off to the right side. He will take his cuts, as we saw in that double he hit to the power alley in right center field to eventually score. 7-1 Navy. 2 runs in the first, 4 in the second, 1 in the fourth. And we're now in the bottom of the fifth inning with the whole field in shade right now. The left-hander sets at the waist, kicks and delivers. Ground ball to Puig at short for Dartmouth. Makes the put out. So the midshipmen have 1 away. John Loudon, who made a nice catch to put out in left field to end the inning, already has a base hit as a pinch hitter for Mason Ceccarelli. steps in for his second at bat of the ball game. Loudon in that season opening series at Queens, the first Navy freshman to record a 5 RBI game in a game since Stephen Bourne drove in 5 at Delaware State all the way back in 2015. Laces one foul right over top the Joe Duff batting facility, almost picking off one of the 3 fans that are standing up there now, able to get out of the way. And in that game, his 4 hits were the most by a Navy true freshman since Zane Raba, the pride of San Antonio, Texas, had a 4-hit day against Bucknell back on March 28th, 2021. So John Loudon with a game to remember. Record-setting 4-hit, 5 RBI collegiate debut in Charlotte. Misses inside. While Navy travels midweek to Norfolk, Dartmouth, next game is midweek at Bryant. The pitch. Fouled off to the right side. Bryant College, former home for New England Patriots summer camp preseason. Now the Patriots have their preseason like many teams now at their own facility in Foxborough. The left-hander delivers. There's a fly ball to left field. Way down, way back. It is foul. Just trying to wrap around the pole. A long foul ball off the bat of John Loudon. One of those where you just have to wait to see what third base umpire Webb Turner is going to say, and waiting for him to tell us if it's fair or foul down by the Patriot League banner that is proudly displayed on the fence above the grass. There is some action in the Navy bullpen. There's another long fly ball to left field off the bat of Loudon to the warning track. DiCorrado makes a catch. Wow. He slammed into the wall and holds onto the ball. We were waiting for a second because third base umpire Webb Turner pointed in towards the infield. But man, what a play by Stefan DiCorrado as he goes hard into that 10-foot wall down the left field line and makes the catch. 2 away, brings up Tyler Kripe. So a couple long fly balls off the bat of John Loudon. One just missing on a home run, and that one a great defensive play by DiCorrado. Fouled down the first base side off the bat of Tyler Kripe, freshman from Parrish, Florida. Kripe with that 2-run home run in the second inning. He too getting his first look at the reliever out of the bullpen for Dartmouth, Lambada. Misses inside. Navy 7 runs on 9 hits, no errors. For Dartmouth, 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error. Bottom of the 5th inning. One of the many Navy freshmen in the lineup today looks at a ball at 86 miles an hour outside the strike zone from Lambana. From South Jordan, Utah, 6'2", 200-pound sophomore. Sets and delivers. Swung on and missed. So Tyler Kripe playing much of this plebe season at second base. Now moving over to short with the injury to Henry Mitchell. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on and missed and strikes out to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We've played 5 in Annapolis. It's Navy 7, Dartmouth 1. And Navy baseball returns on Navy Athletics YouTube in just a moment. You're listening to Navy Baseball from the Navy Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Navy Federal Credit Union proudly serves the armed forces, veterans, and their families. Our members of the mission, insured by NCUA. Scott Wyckoff, along with Director Britton McMahon, executive producer in the house, who brought the great luck to the midshipmen in the come-from-behind win, Matt McMahon, and also Navy Assistant Sports Information Director for Baseball, Marshall Filipowicz here, as Navy is out in front of Dartmouth 7-1. The same Navy team who was down to Dartmouth 7-0, who came back with 8 runs in the 7th inning to begin game 1 of the doubleheader, as we're in the nightcap now here in the 6th inning. Matt Archibald returns on the mound for the midshipmen. 7 strikeouts so far, just allowed a single run on 4 hits. The junior right-hander, breaking ball, misses outside. Career-high 13 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched a week ago in Navy's first quality start of the season against St. Bonaventure. Behind the count 1-0. Now evens it at 1-1. Had a 4-inning pitch loss to South Carolina, allowing 4 runs on 6 hits in Columbia, striking out 7 with 2 walks. As he winds and fires in for a strike. And it was a 5-inning performance by Matt Archibald in the season opening series. 2 runs on 4 hits and 6 strikeouts in the loss to Queens in game 1 of the season opening doubleheader on Saturday in Charlotte. And just hasn't gotten a lot of run support. Has not been the case today. The midshipmen have scored 7 runs on 9 hits and lead it 7-1 here in the 6th inning for Matt Archibald. The count is even at 2-2. There's a fly ball to center field. Jake Hooten in to make the putout and 1 away. So it's a freshman in left field, John Loudon. A freshman in center field, Jake Hooten. A freshman at third base, Patrick Walsh. Tyler Kripe, freshman at shortstop. And a freshman behind the plate, Will Howard. Gus Beggart will pinch hit, as he did in game 1. The freshman from Austin, Texas. First pitch from Matt Archibald, a ball, as the sun is starting to set. The last time we'll have the early sunset before daylight saving time, as the pitch is in for a strike, as it's spring forward at 2 a.m. And then we'll have later sunsets and earlier dark trips to the bus stop for the kids. Pitch misses from Matt Archibald. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. In the top of the 6th inning, pinch hitter for Dartmouth is Gus Beggart. 6'3", 210-pound freshman from the home of the Longhorns, Austin, Texas. Breaking ball for a strike from Matt Archibald. That is a nasty pitch at 78 miles per hour. Handcuffed the freshman. Evens the count at 2. And he struck him out. 8th strikeout of the ball game for Matt Archibald. 2 down. Sends the pinch hitter back off to the bench. Tyer Rodriguez. 0 for 2. Grounded out. Back to the pitcher, Matt Archibald, in the 2nd. And grounded to short in the 4th. For a strike. Low and away from Archibald. Archibald missed his entire freshman season with an injury. Last year, earned his way into the starting lineup as a pitcher. Pitched midweek for a couple weeks and then found himself pitching in the Patriot League games. Swung on and missed. He's going to get the strikeout, the throw down to first, and it ends the inning with the 9th strikeout of the ball game for Matt Archibald on 98 pitches. So we'll see if he comes back for the 7th as we move to the bottom of the 6th. Navy 7, Dartmouth 1. More in a moment.
So as long as we don't kill that, we can change computers. Oh. So now we'll come back up. See, it's excellent.
To the bottom of the sixth inning, Navy leads Dartmouth 7-1. It's the Patriot League against the Ivy League. The jumping, the running, the agility drills, and best of any defensive lineman in Indianapolis. So what a job it was, and really showed the Naval Academy in a great light on Thursday afternoon before the midshipman basketball team won in the quarterfinals on Thursday night. Just a long fly ball from Rip Miller Field at Alumni Hall. 7-1, midshipman with the lead in the bottom of the sixth. Noah Adidas pushes a bunt down the first base line. Can he beat everybody to first? He does! Noah Adidas with the bunt base hit, taking advantage of the green bag in foul territory as he runs down the line. So Noah Adidas is now 3 for 4, and that was just a matter of who would get to first base first, and it would be the legs of Noah Adidas. Today's Navy baseball game has been brought to you by Hawkeye 360, by Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan, by the Maryland Energy Administration, by Tilly Distribution, and by Blackwall Hitch and the Lodge, Annapolis. 1 on, nobody out for Navy. Foul ball, strike to Jake Hooten. Hooten batting second in the lineup, center fielder here in Game 2. Noah Adidas, the leadoff hitter who batted ninth in the opener, has gotten to first base 3 times. He leads off first. Already has a couple stolen bases. We are officially 10 minutes from sunset here at Max Bishop Stadium. Heard the reveille in the background from the yard. Taken off, the throw to second. Diving in, safe! He was picked off at first base, and he beat the tag from shortstop Alejandro Puig. So Noah Adidas picked off, but then gets down to second and beats the tag. And Chuck Restano is going to head out and see if Noah's okay. He might have gotten tagged in the face and eaten some of that rubber equivalent of dirt that's out there on the field. So they're going to take a look at him. Noah Adidas has played such a great game out there today for the midshipmen. Navy athletic training support staff, Sophia Franzani, is out there to take a look at Noah. Also the athletic trainer from Dartmouth collaborating. And it looks as though Noah's going to be okay and stay in the ball game. And what a ball game it's been for Navy's second baseman. The sophomore led off the game and scored, had a base hit, had a triple and scored in the second, and led off the inning here with a base hit, and then gets a stolen base when it looked like he was picked off at first, diving in under the tag. Jake Hooten now with a runner in scoring position. The count is even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Reliever Andrew Lambana, the left-hander, looks back and then delivers. Fouled off the end of the bat towards the Dartmouth Navy class of 1971 dugout on the right side of the ballpark here. Fully lit with the wind blowing out to center field. Top of the order, in the bottom of the 6th inning for the midshipmen, leading 7-1. There's a line drive to right center field. It's going to drop in, having to hold at second base. And now rounding third is Noah Adidas. He will score, and it's a triple. That was a ball that gets to the wall. So the midshipmen score another run. They're 8th of the ball game. Adidas had to hold it second momentarily as Hooten's ball, didn't know it was going to get caught or not. And then it gets to the wall, and Coach Pav at third base waved him around and scored. And the midshipmen add another run, 8-1 now. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning with a runner at third base in Jake Hooten. Pitch to Victor Izquierdo, low and away to the Navy captain. The highest honor a midshipman athlete can achieve is to be selected as a captain by his teammates. That's exactly what Victor Izquierdo has earned. And he lines one to center field. Banez comes in, dives, can't get to it. Izquierdo drives home the run. Hooten scores from third. And the midshipmen now in double digits, up now 10-1. As for the first time this season, their bats have come alive for Matt Archibald in a start. Matt's pitched so well all season long, and just hard luck not getting that support, but he has gotten that support here in the ball game this afternoon as the midshipmen score their 9th run of the ball game with 12 hits. The left-hander, Lombana. Izquierdo takes off. The pitch low and away, and no throw as Victor dives head first into second base with the stolen base. He's in scoring position now with nobody out, and the midshipmen up 9-1. Lombana sets from the waist with Izquierdo leading off second base. There's a ground ball, base hit into right center field. Victor Izquierdo rounds third base. He will score. And there the midshipmen get their 10th run of the ball game on the RBI base hit to right field off the bat of Andrew Manning. Second RBI of the ball game for Manning, driving in Victor Izquierdo. The 13th hit of the ball game for the midshipmen. What a sight here at the ballpark on the yard at the United States Naval Academy. Evening colors. No matter what's going on anywhere on the yard, everything stops for what you heard and saw here. Just an amazing sight as these young men and women at the Naval Academy and all the staff and fans honor our country and those who've served with the evening colors. Back to baseball now with the midshipmen out in front 10-1. The runner takes off. Andrew Manning dives into second. Safe, stolen base for Andrew Manning as the midshipmen remain aggressive on the base pass. Manning's third stolen base in his 4th try this season. So with nobody out, a runner in scoring position. Lombana sets from the waist. The pitch, low and inside at 88 miles per hour from the reliever. It was Marco Dumsky who started the ball game. And in the 5th, Lombana came in for him. The left-hander, the first left-hander Navy has faced today, kicks and delivers, misses outside. Navy's 10 runs on 13 hits. Error-free baseball for the Mids. Dartmouth with a single run on 4 hits and 2 errors. The Big Green and Mids close out the series here tomorrow. There's a fly ball to left field. Back on it is DiCarado, just short of the warning track. makes the catch. Tagging from second is Andrew Manning, and he will slide head first into third base. So a nice sacrifice by Ty DeBerno, getting that ball deep enough, the equivalent of a sacrifice, so he can advance the runner, whatever it takes. And that's the brand of baseball that Chuck Ristano has brought to the Naval Academy, moving base runners in so many different ways. And so often you'll see that ball is just an out with a runner staying put at second base. But the way Coach Ristano and his staff coach this game, they're not going to sit back. They're going to take advantage of everything they can. And they do, and they get the runner down to third, and Andrew Manning with one out. Patrick Walsh, 0 for 3, looking for his first hit of the ball game, has struck out. That ball gets away from the catcher, and it's going to score a run. Andrew Manning slides across home plate as the ball ricocheted off the chest protector of Jack Espirito Niswanger, the catcher, starting in game 2 of this doubleheader, and just far enough away that he couldn't get it to the covering pitcher, Andrew Lambana, in time. And the midshipman again getting that runner to third. Anything can happen, and they can do it and score a run, and that's exactly what they did. The pitch misses outside at 87 miles per hour from the sophomore left-hander out of the bullpen. And it is his ball game right now. No action up in the Dartmouth pen. Midshipmen have a couple players up that are standing to wait to see if they'll be coming in for Matt Archibald. Matt's pitch count right up in the 90s now, so we'll see if he comes in the 7th inning. Has pitched such a great ball game. Lambada's pitch high and tight for a ball. Full count to Patrick Walsh, Navy's hard-hitting third baseman. Fouls it right back to the screen. So yeah, 12 noon tomorrow here. Great rivalry between the midshipmen and the Big Green, two of the most outstanding academic institutions in the nation meeting here on the field. Patrick Walsh with the walk. He will go down to first base. A new set of balls comes into home plate umpire Thurman Bailey. Really neat knowing what these athletes are asked of in the classroom and what we see of them out on the field. Two of the most famous and highest academic institutions in the country, United States Naval Academy and Dartmouth College. Runner on first, one out, he takes off. No throw as it came out of the glove of Espirito Niswanger. Couldn't get the throw down to second base. So Patrick Walsh with the stolen base. Will Howard with a runner in scoring position. Howard, 1 for 3 with a double and scored. He flies one to center field. Nico Banez underneath it, and hustling back to second base is Patrick Walsh. Second out of the inning. Midshipman with a runner in scoring position now with John Loudon. Coming in, Loudon entering the game for Mason Ceccarelli. And just as he did, had a base hit. He's 1 for 2. Flew out to left field on a great catch by Stefan DiCorrado up against the wall on a ball right before that that almost went out of here. It did go out of the ballpark, but it went foul. And there is action down in the Navy bullpen. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. The sun has set in Annapolis. On the yard here at the Naval Academy with the midshipman out in front, 11-1. Breaking ball misses outside. In the bottom of the 6th inning, a 4-run inning so far for the midshipmen. The left-hander kicks and delivers. Finds the outside corner, low and away at 88 miles per hour. Tyler Kripe, the bottom of the order, on deck for Navy. Lambada looks back to second. That one too low. 3 balls and a strike. So you got to believe that John will be sitting on the pitch that he likes right now, maybe one of those ones that he slammed to left field in his last at bat. From the left-hander, he fists that one into left field in foul territory down by the Navy bullpen, and running out of real estate is shortstop Alejandro Puig. Lost his cap as he ran into foul territory. He will run back to his position at shortstop with a full count now to John Loudon. 6 foot, 195 pound freshman from Brookhaven, Georgia. Went to the Marist School in the suburbs of Atlanta. Right-handed hitting left fielder, can play all the outfield positions. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out. That ends the inning. But not before the midshipmen score 4 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. We move to the 7th. Navy 11, Dartmouth 1. More Navy baseball and Navy Athletics YouTube in a moment. So that'll do it for Matt Archibald as we move to the 7th inning now. And what a pitching performance. He goes 6 innings, allows just a single run on 4 hits. He struck out 9, coming off a 13 strikeout performance a week ago. Walked 3, and the number that sends him to the dugout is 101 pitches. So outstanding performance by Matt Archibald. And Ryan Bibb will step in for the midshipman and take over in relief. The junior right-hander, 6'2", 215 pounds. The Illinois native. And Leo Mangimelli is off to second base now to give Noah Ditas a little bit of a break. So Mangimelli at second. The other change in the lineup is Twin Fours, number 44, Ryan Bibb. The right-hander delivers for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Chris Miller leading off for the Big Green. Miller. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Bibb, a breaking ball at 86 miles per hour on the outside corner. Ryan Bibb bringing it. 3rd appearance of the season for Bibb, and a base hit by Chris Miller to right field to lead things off for Dartmouth. So it's been a while since the Big Green got that leadoff batter on, and they've done it now here in the top of the 7th inning. Today's Navy baseball game is brought to you by Hawkeye 360, by Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan, by the Maryland Energy Administration, by Tilly Distribution, and by Blackwall Hitch and the Lodge, Annapolis. the Navy reliever with his first base runner that he faces now. From the stretch, he sets right at the numbers, and the pitch for a strike at 85 miles per hour to Jack Espirito Niswanger. Special thanks to our director, Britton McMahon. Great job spinning all the dials and taking care of everything technically here this afternoon on Navy Athletics YouTube. He will give way to reliever director Matt McMahon as the midshipmen are out in front 11-1 here in the top of the 7th inning with Ryan Bibb on in relief of Matt Archibald. Bibb sets and delivers. Misses outside at 86 miles per hour. Academic honor roll. Last 2 seasons for the midshipmen. Was it a strike? Yes. First strikeout of the ball game for Ryan Bibb. 2024 Patriot League Academic Honor Roll, also last season in 2025. Made 11 relief appearances last year, his 3rd relief appearance this season. With a runner on first, 1 away, first strikeout for Ryan Bibb here this afternoon, now into the evening with the sun having set here in Annapolis. But the winds have picked up, and the wind is blowing out right now. Really blowing. You can kind of hear it in the great crowd mic that the McMahons have given us to give you a sense of the sounds and the sights that we give you, and these great shots at Max Bishop Stadium on the banks of College Creek here in the state capital of Maryland. The pitch fouled straight back towards the Flugel Alumni Center. For several years, we kept saying into the construction zone, but the Flugel Center now in its 2nd year of completion. What a great addition that has been. The Alumni Center here on the yard. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. It's a nice pitch as Ryan Bibb pulls the string at 72 miles per hour, well outside the strike zone, and was able to get Sam Anderson to go after it. Anderson, even in the count at 2-2. Chris Miller leads at first for Dartmouth. And pitch misses away. Anderson 0 for 2, struck out in the 2nd. A fielder's choice in the 4th. 7th inning in Annapolis. Breaking ball misses away, and it's a walk. So 2 runners on for Ryan Bibb and the midshipman to deal with now. Leo Mangiamelli, the 2nd baseman, 6'4", 205 pounds. So the midshipmen go from 5'9" Noah Ditas to 6'4" Leo Mangiamelli at 2nd base. 2 runs in the 1st, 4 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 4 in the 6th for Navy. Add them up, 11 runs. Strike at 85 miles per hour from Ryan Bibb. Bibb getting some good relief work after a great performance by Matt Archibald. It is the top of the order for Dartmouth. Nico Banez, 1 for 3 with a base hit in his last at bat in the 5th inning. Banez, 5'8", 175-pound senior, finishing up his career this year at Dartmouth College. The right-hander Bibb looks back and delivers. Fouled on the right field line. My high school baseball coach, one of the great players of all time at Dartmouth College, Chuck Selbach, went on to pitch in the major leagues for the Detroit Tigers. He and Pete Broberg, 2 major league pitchers, pitched in the 1970 College World Series for these Dartmouth Big Green. Bouncing ball foul on the first base side. And amazing that Chuck Selbach originally went to Dartmouth, recruited as a swimmer on the swim team, but did so well in baseball that his final couple of years, and still one of their career pitching leaders, the late Chuck Selbach. 0-2 the count. Fouled off to the left side, as you can hear the wind picking up again. Also the high school coach of Navy Athletic Association, John Starrett. John and I grew up together in Cleveland, played baseball at University School for Chuck Selbach. The pitch. In tight. Just misses. Right on the corner. Inside corner at 86 miles per hour from Ryan Bibb. Navy out in front of Dartmouth, 11-1. Navy erupting for 8 runs in the bottom of the 7th to win 8-7. There's a throw down to second base by Howard. And he is confident in that arm that he has. Not worried at all about making that throw. Really gives some nice flexibility to Chuck Restano, having a freshman catcher like Will Howard. And don't forget about Jack Killalay. He's been out with some injuries this season, but man, 3 good ones behind the plate for the midshipmen. And Howard blocks that one in the turf behind the plate. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Under the lights, inside the Pines at Max Bishop Stadium in the 7th inning. Ryan Bibb. Full count. Delivers. Fouled straight back. You can hear Ryan's friends in the brigade rooting him on. Boy, did the brigade ever turn out on Thursday night for Navy's huge win in the quarterfinals of the Patriot League men's basketball tournament. They'll be asked to come on out again tomorrow afternoon. There's a bouncing ball to second, right through the legs of Mangiamelli for an error. That will score a run for Dartmouth. Looked as though it was going to possibly be a double play ball with 1 out, but Leo came up a little bit early. Get through second run of the ball game for Dartmouth. Single run in the 3rd, and now a single run here in the top of the 7th inning. Alejandro Puig, 1 for 2 with a run scored. You hear the 85-mile-an-hour pitch into the glove of Will Howard from Navy reliever Ryan Bibb. Matt Archibald giving up a single run before giving way to Ryan Bibb now. Bibb, the pitch. Breaking ball in tight, and it hit Alejandro Puig. He will head down to first base, and the bases are loaded now for the first time in this ball game for Dartmouth. So Puig at first.
Now batting number 5, Milo Suarez.
Banez at second. And Sam Anderson at third base. The bases are loaded. Milo Suarez, 1 for 2. Walked in the first, had a double in the 3rd, and flew out to left field in the 5th. Ryan Bibb going to do some work to get out of this one now. With the bases loaded, the Navy infield is back with the 9-run lead, looking for a double play ball. Waiting for the reset on the clock from the umpiring crew of Thurman Berry, Calvin Baker, and Webb Turner. We get that. And here's Ryan Bibb, the delivery for a strike at 84 miles per hour, right on the outside corner. To Milo Suarez. Suarez, a little bit of an open stance. Will Howard dives over into the left-handed batting box to stop that from going back to the screen. To hold the runner, Sam Anderson at third. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bases are loaded for Dartmouth. There's a foul ball back to the screen. The Big Green has already scored 1 here in the 7th. to add to their 1 run in the third. 11-2, Navy with the lead. Navy's 11 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. Dartmouth 2 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors. Again, blocked in the turf by Will Howard, back behind the plate. Howard, 6'1", 198-pound freshman, was behind the plate on Friday against Dartmouth. Ty DePerno, the DH in this game too, was the catcher in game 1 of the doubleheader. The pitch, ground ball foul down the third base side into the Navy bullpen where there's action. Suarez evens the count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases are loaded for Dartmouth. The Navy infield is back. The pitch, a fly ball to left field. John Loudon to his left makes the catch. Sam Anderson tags at third. All the runners tag, and Anderson scores the 3rd run of the ball game. Navy's lead now 11-3 with 2 runs having scored here in the 7th inning. First game of the doubleheader was a 7-inning affair, and the second game is scheduled for 9 innings. A.J. DeMastri, 0 for 3, has struck out twice with his open hand, left-handed hitting stance. Takes the pitch for a strike. The cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, was the catcher in game 1. Runners at second and third now for Dartmouth. Swung on and missed. High heat, 85 miles an hour. Out of the strike zone. And just Ryan Bibb powering that pitch by DeMastri. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. The right-hander's pitch. A little breaking ball inside, misses at 74 miles per hour. Navy shifting defensively with Tyler Kripe at short, almost directly behind second base. But Leo Mangiamelli not that deep right on the turf at second. Line drive to third base and makes the put out to end the inning. Nicely positioned infield as Patrick Walsh was way off at third and just gloved that. 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left. We move to the bottom of the 7th. Up on your feet for the 7th inning stretch with the score. Navy 11, Dartmouth 3 on Navy Athletics YouTube. All set to go after the 7th inning stretch. The midshipmen come to the plate. 11-3. The midshipmen with the lead. And it's Tyler Kripe leading it off for the midshipmen. You're listening to Navy Baseball from the Navy Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Navy Federal Credit Union proudly serves the armed forces, veterans, and their families. Our members of the mission, insured by NCUA. Fouled back to the screen. Andrew Lombana remains on the mound in relief for Dartmouth. And he is ahead in the count 0-2 to the leadoff hitter, Tyler Kripe. Kripe, 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Grounds the ball to Sam Anderson at second base over to first, one away. Tyler Kripe, a 2-run home run in the second inning. A line shot down the right field line for the midshipman. A second inning that saw Navy score 4 runs, but then how about the 4 runs they scored in the 6th? Back to the top of the order, Leo Mangiamelli, the first at bat for the Navy second baseman. Looks at a first pitch, low inside. 6'4", 205-pound junior from Westfield, New Jersey, and Westfield High School. Second base, defensive replacement, gets his first at bat. Looks at his first strike. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Navy with the 11-3 lead, 11 runs on 13 hits. Bats coming alive for Matt Archibald. There's a bouncing ball off the plate to the shortstop, Puig, over to first, and 2 are down. After a career-high 13 strikeouts and a loss a week ago here today to St. Bonaventure, today 9 strikeouts in the start for Matt Archibald as he got all sort of run support from the midshipmen. Out in front now, 11-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 away. Jake Hooten, freshman outfielder from Gulf Breeze, Florida, and Gulf Breeze High School, looks at the pitch from the left-hander. Fouled off to the right side. Bounce off behind the class of 71 dugout for Dartmouth College. Navy 9-4. 5-2 here at home. Dartmouth 3-5. All their now 9th games this season on the road, as this is game 10 of a 15-game season opening road trip for the Big Green in this, what is for Navy, the 132nd season of Navy baseball dating back to 1893. Swung on, off the foot, foul ball. Trying to shake that off is Jake Hooten. Steps out of the box, and umpire Thurman Berry will give him a chance to do that. Kind of walk out to the mound, check the ball, flip it to Andrew Lombana, and gives the Navy hitter a chance to jump up and down and try to loosen things up after fouling that ball off his foot. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. Jake Hooten trying to get things going with 2 away. And the Dartmouth defense plays him straight away with the shortstop, Andrew Puig, just on the edge of the outfield turf, as is the second baseman, Sam Anderson. The left-hander, Andrew Lombana, sets at the waist, kicks and delivers, bounces it off the turf. The count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Game 4 of this series tomorrow. Right back here, 2 o'clock. It is Navy Pinstripe Pin Day. This awesome button pin that we're going to see out here at the ballpark. Fouled it back again. The button really looks cool, and the jerseys that you'll see out here are really cool. Also, autographs after the game tomorrow. Also, the kids get to run the bases. So a great Sunday of baseball gets underway an hour earlier here tomorrow, 12 noon the first pitch. Gives the Dartmouth College Big Green a chance to maybe get back to Hanover, New Hampshire a little bit earlier. And that might be it for Jake Hooten, as Chuck Restano came out to talk to him. And I think maybe fouling that ball off his foot, he's had enough. So He's coming back to the dugout. And Tyler Bouchard, the junior from Fort Myers, Florida, one of several midshipmen from the west coast of Florida, South Florida, but on the west side where all the Midwesterners like to go. Left-handed hitter, jumps off the bench quickly and steps in. Gets his first at bat as a pinch hitter. Was a pinch runner in the ball game ahead of us. The left-hander delivers, swung on and missed, and strikes him out. Tough spot for Bouchard to come into with 2 strikes, and he strikes out. That'll do it for the 7th inning. We move to the 8th. Navy 11, Dartmouth 3. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Eighth inning with Navy up 11-3. Pitching change. Sidewinder Jackson Beatty on in relief of Ryan Bibb, who did a nice job in relief of Matt Archibald. Today's Navy baseball game has been brought to you by Hawkeye 360, by Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan, by the Maryland Energy Administration, by Tilly Distribution, and by Blackwall Hitch and the Lodge Annapolis. Jackson Beatty, the senior right-hander, 6 foot, 185 pounds. Hometown, the home to Coors Beer, Golden, Colorado. Played at Lakewood High School. Jackson's 4th appearance of the season, all in relief, trying to improve on an 8.10 earned run average. As the right-hander steps in now, faces his first batter of the ball game, and it's a line drive, base hit to left field off the bat of Henry Murray. Big turn by Murray. He's back to first base and leads off with a base hit off of Jackson Beatty. Allowed 3 runs on 3 hits in a third of an inning of relief a week ago against St. Bonaventure. Before that, 2 innings pitched in relief against South Carolina, allowing just a single run on 3 hits. And in Navy's home opening win, he struck out 2 in an inning of scoreless relief, closing out Delaware State as the midshipmen won the home opener here just a few weeks ago. Out of the stretch, the sidewinder comes with a 85-mile-an-hour fastball, just a little bit outside. Back in 2023, a Patriot League Rookie of the Week. The senior firing that one in for a strike at 84 miles per hour. That was during his freshman season on the yard. A year that saw him finish second out of the bullpen with 16 appearances on the mound. Made 1 start that season and has been a reliable reliever ever since. Henry Murray on first base. Mason Smith, the pinch hitter, as that one goes off the foot of Will Howard. So much like Jake Hooten had to shake off a ball into his foot, this time it's umpire Thurman Berry walking out to the mound again to let the catcher, who's back there with him, Will Howard, shake off that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Mason Smith, 6 foot, 180-pound freshman from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The ace of the Dartmouth staff is also from Pittsburgh, Eddie Albert. The right-hander, senior, 6'1", 190 pounds. Here's Jackson Beatty, delivers, misses away. Full count. Runner on first, nobody out. Navy leads at 11-3. Dartmouth trying to rally like Navy did in the first game. The pitch fouled into the turf, back to the screen. Beatty works the right side of the rubber, like most of the relievers. Works always from his stretch with the runner on first. Kicks and delivers. Swung on and missed. First strikeout of the ball game for Jackson Beatty. 1 away. That's exactly what Jackson needs to do in these situations. And that was inside at 86 miles per hour. Fourth strikeout of the season for the Navy right-hander. There's a foul ball back towards the Navy dugout. Chris Miller, 1 for 3 with a base hit and a run scored in the 7th inning. Matt Archibald, he's one of Matt's 9 strikeouts in the 2nd inning. That's a nasty pitch from Jackson Beatty. The way he comes across with the right hand, breaks down and away from the batter at 86 miles per hour. He's ahead in the count, 0-2 to Miller, and works it back inside. Nice pitch. Miller holds back. 3 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for Dartmouth with the runner on first. Just missed on the outside corner. Framed nicely by Will Howard. But home plate umpire Thurman Berry not giving the strike. Mason Smith leads off first for Dartmouth. Bouncing ball to second, looking for the double play. Taking himself is Kripe, and it gets away from Victor Izquierdo. A little bit high over towards first. So no double play, but it does get the lead runner at second base, and 2 are away. Tyler kind of found himself in no man's zone in that area. He wanted to take the bag and to put out himself. Leo Mangiamelli also coming over, so made the play a little bit more difficult than it normally would play, and the ball just got away from Victor Izquierdo at first base. So that's where Miller stands now. Bouncing ball again to Kripe. He will flip this time to Leo and makes the put out and ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left to the bottom of the 8th. Navy 11, Dartmouth 3. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Bottom of the 8th inning, Navy 11, Dartmouth 3. Victor Izquierdo leading it off for the midshipmen. Midshipmen watch from the dugout as Victor Izquierdo pops it up behind first base. Last time he did this, he got a triple out of it. This time he's got a single. Again, confusion with the wind blowing with the right fielder, second baseman Mason Smith, and first baseman Milo Suarez all coming together. So unlike the last time that happened for Victor when he went all the way to third base, this time he will remain at first. Leadoff hitter on for the midshipmen, Andrew Manning. 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBI. The throw over to first. Victor dives back in. What a great celebration it was between these 2 games of the doubleheader by the parents of the Navy baseball players after that big comeback all down. And Izquierdo will go to second base on the balk to Andrew Lombana. So first balk we've seen, and drawn nicely again. That is Chuck Ristano baseball, forcing the team to make a mistake, and that's exactly what they do. 87 miles per hour swinging through that one is Andrew Manning. 0-1 the count to the Navy right fielder, designated hitter most of the season. The left-hander, Lombana, delivers. Misses high. With the left-handing hitter Manning, the shortstop, Alejandro Puig, is almost directly behind second base. Leading off second now is Victor Izquierdo, the pitch. Another swinging miss by Andrew Manning. High at 86 miles per hour. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Izquierdo at second base. Navy here in the bottom of the 8th with an 11-3 lead. Andrew Lombana, the lone reliever for Dartmouth in this ball game. After the start by Marco Dumsky. Andrew Manning doing a good job to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ty DiPerno, already 2 for 3 in the afternoon on deck. The pitch, fisted back to the screen, trying to check his swing was Andrew Manning, but that ball was up high and tight. Remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andrew with a base hit and a double in this one and a walk. And off running was Izquierdo. That's popped foul. The third baseman Anderson goes and makes the catch. Sam Anderson makes the catch in foul territory halfway between the Navy dugout and the Navy bullpen. Victor Izquierdo was running on the pitch, so he had to go back to second base. And Ty DiPerno steps up for the midshipmen. 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, a base hit in the first, a double in the fourth, and going back 1 game, the game-winning single with Navy down 7-0, scoring 8 runs in the 7th in the opener of this doubleheader to win it, capping off a 3-hit performance earlier today by Ty DiPerno. Already with a 2-hit performance. Maybe a Patriot League-worthy Player of the Week award. Who knows? The way he's been swinging the bat. The pitch misses inside at 88 miles per hour. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Ty DiPerno at the plate with Victor Izquierdo clapping at second base. In scoring position. Lombana's pitch in the turf, misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. The turf here, the field turf, all the bases and home plate. The only dirt on the field inside the lines is the mound. The mounds in the bullpen are also dirt. The pitch misses high to Ty DiPerno. Last year, the Patriot League Rookie of the Year. This year, a preseason first-team Patriot League selection. DHing here in Game 2 of the doubleheader after being behind the plate in Game 1. He's ahead in the count, 3-1. He fists one out to left field. DiCarado makes a couple steps in and also making some steps back to second base. Holding there is Victor Izquierdo. Patrick Walsh, freshman third baseman, steps up now for the midshipman. 2 away. Runner in scoring position at second base is Victor Izquierdo as he, for the second straight at bat, popped one up right behind first base and was able to get on the pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman, Mason Smith, over to first, ends the inning. For the midshipman, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Victor Izquierdo stranded at second base. We move to the 9th. Navy leads at 11-3. We'll be back with the 9th inning in a moment. What a day it's been so far for Navy Athletics here at Max Bishop Stadium. On the yard, the midshipmen come from behind to win the opener of this doubleheader in fine style and now go to the 9th inning with an 11-3 lead over Dartmouth. Earlier today, just a long fly ball from here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis. The Navy men's lacrosse team comes from behind. 8 unanswered goals on the way to their win over Bucknell, and the lady women's lacrosse team for Navy winning on the road against USF. They are ranked 5th in the nation. And we will do it all over again here. Navy baseball tomorrow at noon. To the 9th. The pitch hits the leadoff batter, Sam Anderson, in the leg. So he will head down to first base off the 83-mile-per-hour delivery from Jackson Beatty, who comes back out on the mound for the midshipman. An inning pitched. He's allowed 1 run, has a strikeout. That was his 17th pitch of the ball game after the fine performance by Matt Archibald. 6 innings, 1 run, 9 strikeouts. Fouled back off the glove of Will Howard and might have hit him in the wrist as he was shaking it off. Top of the order, Nico Banez, 1 for 4. His 1 hit, a base hit in the 5th inning. Left-handed hitting center fielder for Dartmouth, with Anderson leading off first. Howard frames it outside of the strike zone at 85 miles per hour. 1 ball, 1 strike. Misses inside. Midshipman shading Banez a little bit over towards second base with the runner at first. Both Tyler Kripe and Leo Mangiamelli in at second base. The pitch. Fly ball to left center field. John Loudon tracks it down, makes the put out, and quickly gets it back into the field with 1 away here in the 9th. So tomorrow, 12 noon, first pitch. Remember, daylight saving time. So spring forward. Make sure you're able to either join us here at the ballpark as it's pinstripe button giveaway day. Also, autograph day after the game. Also, run the bases day after the game as Navy and Dartmouth wrap up this 4-game weekend series. Navy losing last night 3-1, winning game 1 here this afternoon 8-7, out in front now 11-3 in the 9th. A 4-game weekend series between these rivals from the Patriot League and the Ivy League, the two top academic leagues in all of sports. Foul down the right field line, let alone college baseball. Navy 9-4, looking to improve on that. They can hold on here in the 9th. Dartmouth at 3-5. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. Second strikeout of the ball game from Jackson Beatty. So Beatty with 2 away, trying to shut the door for the second time this season on a home Navy win. He closed out Delaware State in the home opener, looking to close out Dartmouth here. The pitch. High for a ball to Milo Suarez. 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Had a double in the 3rd. That was 1 RBI and a fielder's choice RBI in the 7th. Runner runs. The throw by Howard down to second base. Not in time. A stolen base by Sam Anderson. So Anderson in scoring position now at second with 2 away. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Milo Suarez fouls it back to the right side. So Jackson Beatty now 1 strike away from closing this one out for the doubleheader sweep for the midshipmen against Dartmouth. Beatty leans in, delivers. Fouled off to the right side by Suarez at 1-2. Wind blowing directly out to left field is picked up as the ball game has moved along. Some of the original forecasts had rain in the forecast during the day, but it started out as fog today, and then cloudy skies, and then sunny skies, and now under the lights. Bouncing ball. Walsh at third, gloves it over to first, and that'll do it. The midshipmen with a doubleheader sweep over Dartmouth, winning the nightcap by a final of 11-3. 11 runs on 14 hits and 1 error for the midshipmen in the win. For Dartmouth, 3 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors. Navy improves to 10-4. Dartmouth drops to 3-5. And what a win for the midshipman starter in this one, Matt Archibald. His first win of the season. He goes 6 innings. He strikes out 9. He allows just a single run on 4 hits. Throughout the season, he has pitched so well and finally gets the offensive support to win this one, as midshipmen have relievers, both Ryan Bibb and then Jackson Beatty, the senior, comes in to close it out as Navy, coming off the huge come-from-behind win in the opener of this doubleheader, down 7-0, scoring 8 runs in the 7th to win it. 6 of those runs with 2 outs. Keeps that momentum going into the nightcap of the doubleheader as they knock off Dartmouth by the final of 11-3. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Again, first pitch here at 12 noon. Joe Miller will have the call right here on Navy Athletics YouTube. And if you're driving around town, don't bring up the YouTube on your phone. You can also listen to the game on WNAV 1430 here in Annapolis and at WNAV.com. For our directors, Britton and Matt McMahon. For Navy Assistant Sports Information Director for Baseball, Marshall Filipowicz. This is Scott Wyckoff. Have a good night, everybody.